This is a topic too that's coming up quite often with founders in the community more recently, which is thinking, some of the kind of considerations, going down that potential path, going from B2C to kind of B2B to C, right? On that note, do you have any maybe kind of tips for founders on how to approach thinking about that and some of the key considerations?
Totally. The way we did it before figuring out where to dump resources, because resources and time, right? Those are the constraints for a startup. We can't do all of it. So we have to figure out like where do I have reason to believe? And you don't want to just guess there. So what we did is we didn't just choose employer because it sounded great. We took a step back. We were running out of money. It was clear that in this market, we weren't just going to raise more money to go lose all of it going D2C and having a very unprofitable business. So we took a step back and we looked on the human side at a whole bunch of digital health companies, and and the ones that we admired, right? So ones that have either become unicorns, ones that have sold, ones that have IPO'd, whatever it is, the ones that we admired. And we wanted to look for a common thread between all of them. Like, what did they do? What do they look like? How do they serve the market? And see if there were commonalities that we could apply. And what we found, we took about 10 companies we just chose as a team that we just thought were doing great, unique, cool things. So companies like Teladoc and Doctor on Demand, companies like Oscar Health and others, and try to find what that common thread was. And the common thread was they were either all B2B, so they launched B2B, or like Doctor on Demand, they launched D2C and then pivoted to B2B. And that's when 10 out of 10 companies that you admire all have that common thread that they're not D2C companies. You start to realize that this just healthcare is really just, there are very few exceptions, but healthcare is not really a D2C business, at least not in the way that we see it with profitable, high margin businesses. So that's what gave us the validation that B2B is where we needed to take it. Then it was just a matter of how and who, right? Because B could mean a lot of types of businesses. We chose employer, but B2B could mean health plans. It can mean insurance providers. It can mean a lot of different things. For us, we focused on employer because that's where we saw the biggest opportunity.